whatever topic you want to have about relative to MLM, because we can have a conversation even if we disagree. Part of the problems with Glenn is I like Glenn personally, but we can have a conversation with Glenn, but he gets stuck on that 99.9999, and or that he thinks Marco's the best presenter on the planet, and that he thinks that Marco coming back on our radio show is ever going to happen because it'll be the best thing since Kim Kardashian in a reality TV show. But the reality is no, that's not the case. And instead of sitting there just oh my God, just kind of dealing with Glenn, you got to have Marco back. You got to have Marco back. What for? He's an idiot. He lies. He makes up shit. All that sort of stuff. The reality is that I think we can have a constructive conversation with you. So that kind of lays the foundation and the groundwork for maybe anybody that might be listening in, as far as on Building Forces Radio listening audience, or maybe some might be listening in a little bit later on relative to anything else that we might be talking about. So I'll let you comment on that, and then we'll just jump into whatever you want to ask or whatever we want to talk about.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and I guess I agree with Glenn. I think that it would be really cool if you guys brought Marco on the show simply because it would be entertaining, right? Maybe, you guys think he's stupid, then, of course, there's that. And I think also, Glenn has he is stuck on the 99.7%. But yeah, I mean, and I guess that's really the big thing that I would like to start with, because I talked to Scott briefly, because Scott had called me, texted me, said, "Hey, Peter got a hold of me, says maybe you'd be interested." We had a short phone call, and then on our phone call, you're like, no way, 99.7. There's no way that it's possible. You said you could rattle off people that are making money, therefore it can't be 99.7. And then Scott had made the claim that he knows, that he thinks it's 99.7% in Amway. So my first question would be, do you agree that in Amway specifically, maybe the loss rate is 99.7%?
I don't know that much about Amway to say either yes or no. I would probably say no, because 99.7 is pretty close to 100%. And even when I was with Amway, so personal experience. So when I was with Amway the very, 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 very first time, and this was before the internet, was real, where Amway people used to, you come over every Thursday and you order the products and you ship them, or if they weren't shipped, you pick them up locally or stuff like that, and your upline wrote you a check for your commissions. Well, even though I never recruited anybody, I got a check from my upline. Now, it wasn't a big check because I didn't buy a lot and I didn't recruit anybody up at that point, but I got a check. It was a small check. It was a pitiful check. I never cashed the check because it was like $6.50 from their checking account that she wrote out. And I'm like, she needs the money more than I need the money. I'm like, this is the rebate is nice, but no thank you kind of a thing. So even me, on my very first